that the Fulani military in Nigeria, of Nigeria extraction, is the fourth most dangerous terrorist organization in the world. And it's quite surprising that Nigerian government have not seen them as such. You understand that America is a country that always want to deal with terrorism. We understand that even the other time, America have to stay in Afghanistan for more than 10 years to see whether they could bring down Taliban. So the point is, America targeting terrorists in Africa is a welcome development.
Pastor Matthew, thank you for having you on the Waymaker channel this morning. If this day is your first time of coming across our video, please kindly subscribe, on your notifications, and like as we continue bringing what is happening in Nigeria and even in Biafra. Pastor, as we speak now, Biafrans are jubilating as the Fulani men are angry because Donald Trump said enough of killing Christians in Nigeria, as is ready to bring to strike the terrorist organization like Bokoharam, Al-Qaeda, and Fulani Bandits. And there is panic in Fulani in the north right now.
Thank you for having me. Let me tell you that they have every reason to be in panic mode. It's very clear, even as they speak, that the Fulani military in Nigeria, of Nigeria extraction, is the fourth most dangerous terrorist organization in the world. And it's quite surprising that Nigerian government have not seen them as such. You understand that America is a country that always want to deal with terrorism. We understand that even the other time, America have to stay in Afghanistan for more than 10 years to see whether they could bring down Taliban. So the point is, America targeting terrorists in Africa is a welcome development. We have seen the Air Force Commander, American Air Force Commander for Africa and Europe, talking about James Becker, making it very clear that their target is going to be African terrorists. Of course, I think they have made good that position, targeting some terrorists in Somalia, and I think that's a good start. But again, looking at what Fulani military stand for in Nigeria, I think the activity of American Air Force is welcome, because we have seen a people that is unrelenting in bringing harm and pain to people. Don't forget that the former governor of Benue State, talking about Autumn, was attacked. Not just another attack, an assassination attack was carried out on him. Before he knew it, a group that goes by the name of Fulani Nationality Movement came out clearly to say, yes, we did it. And that the governor was lucky, that he may not be lucky next time. So we are talking about a group that is formidable, a group that does not respect concerned authority, a group that do not know that police exists, that do not know that government exists, a group that see themselves to survive by survival of the fittest, a group that if you send police against them, they are ready to attack police. We saw the killing in Delta State, in Biri, to be precise, recently. We saw the one in Benue. We saw the one in Ebonyi. So these are people that have the agenda to conquer, to dominate, and to occupy people's ancestral home.
Pastor Matthew, I don't know whether you have seen the video that's going on in circulation now, where Enugu women gathered yesterday. They were crying for the atrocity these Fulani people are committing in Southeast. Even they are raping their women, raping mothers. Even most of them accuse them of using stick to poke them. I can't even pronounce it. And even their husbands are afraid to go to farm. These are the things Fulani men are doing in Southeast. Why I'm asking you these questions? Because perhaps before now, we have some Ekpan who were stopped not to communicate to Biafran. We hardly hear that the Fulani people attack the Igbos or penetrate into the Biafra land. But ever since Samuel Ekpan has been captured, Mazinam Bekano appear under the detention of DSS, it's like these people now have the full energy to enter Southeast to do whatever thing they like, and nothing is happening to them. The last time they killed almost 30 choosing members in their point. Now Enugu, they are crying. The video is all over. What is happening?
To be quite honest with you, it is worrisome and disappointing on the part of the state governors, who of course have the mandate to protect lives and property. Do not forget that the government, or rather the governors, go by the name of the governor and the chief security officer of their respective states. Even the president go by the name of the president and the commander of the armed forces. It's quite unfortunate that we have a situation where vacuum is being created in what gave someone like a Sunday Igboho the room to operate under Muhammadu Buhari, which brought him to relevance. So it's quite unfortunate that you see people in their hundreds, in their thousands, in their tens, being maimed, killed, raped by the marauding, reckless Fulani militias. And the government seems to be incapacitated, seems not to have the wherewithal to address it. Even in the north, recently, we had a situation where bandits held meeting with people in Katsina to strike a deal that they will not kill to enable farmers go back to farm. It's quite unfortunate that we have a situation where the government is not having the ability or the capacity to deal with this emerging threat. That is why we have been advocating. Let us think out of the box. Let us have state police. Let us rejig the security architecture. Let us remove the issue of security from exclusive legislative list. Let it be on concurrent list so that the State House of Assembly can legislate on it. As it stands today, I must tell you, Mr. James, that the State House of Assembly have no right to legislate on the issue of security because it is on the exclusive legislative list. So we need to remove it from that list to put it on the concurrent list to enable the State House of Assembly to legislate on it so that they can have their own security arrangement to deal with this emerging threat. I must say that the reason the Amateku, for instance, is not able to bear arm and build capacity to address this security is because the constitution do not give them express power to do so. And as we speak, the governors from the southeastern region, as a matter of necessity and urgency, must come together, synergize, and let the government know what they want. I mean, federal government, because in the time of Akeredolu, when Muhammad Buhari was the president, he was confrontational. Akeredolu was bold, he was fearless. He told Buhari to his face that if civilian JTF in the north can bear arm, what stops Amateku from bearing arm? A security outfit that is created out of state assembly. In the same vein, the southeastern governors must think out of the box. They must be bold enough to interfere with the federal government and tell the federal government that we have the mandate to protect lands and property of our people. And the only way we can do it is to build capacity to enable security arrangement at that level to bear arm and to be able to confront the Barudin Fulani militias.
Yes, Pastor, many Igbos now, they have given up on their leader because if you see what their governors are doing, they said they don't have gone out, and most of them are being posted for Fulani to take their agenda in Southeast. Because as we speak now, Hope Uzodinma, the governor of Imo State now, are trying to organize how to sponsor people to Hajj for this Ramadan after this their fasting. And people are saying how many Muslims in the Imo State, they are not even up to 5% of the population of the state. Now you are trying all your possible means to send them to Hajj, where many Igbos are frustrated. What are we saying that why are they that these Igbo leaders, they keep trying to please the Northerners? We've not seen where the Fulani or any Northern leaders are sending Igbo people to Israel, to go for their own. Why is these Igbo leaders are doing this?
To be quite honest with you, most of them do it because they want favor from the Fulanis. Don't forget that Fulani has infiltrated and occupied lofty positions in the country, particularly in the north. But again, I think the state governors from the region, talking about southeastern part of the country, should always realize that using fiat, government executive order, to come about this type of policy is not helpful. The best they could do is to take it to House of Assembly and allow House of Assembly to take decision. So that if eventually a House of Assembly in Southeast say, vote XYZ amount for Hajj, the governor can clearly tell the people that it is your representative.
Let me cut you up. We keep saying it that it cannot happen in Nigeria because, as I used to say, that we have 3 arms of government, but the case will be experienced both in federal and state now. We have executive, legislature, and the judiciary. But as it speaks now, both in federal and state, the judiciary and the executive are in the pocket of the federal government and the state. They now control, the executive now control the judiciary, they control what the legislature do. So if you want to say that, do you think it's possible? Because the governor control the legislature, even the judiciary.
The point is, if the state governors want the houses of assembly in their region to be carried along and to be the one deciding most of the cases, I think it's possible. Because number one, if you must spend money under democracy, that money must be appropriated. And the arm of government that have right to appropriate is the House of Assembly. Before the executive will spend it by way of executing the project. So it is impunity when you see government fiat, government policy in that regard, without recourse to reverting to House of Assembly for deliberation and decision making. I say this particularly because that is the only way you can get the people to do the right thing. Because it is unthinkable that the whole or majority of House of Assembly in any state in the eastern part of the country will accept such decision. But as a man, as one person, me being the governor, whatever may be his overriding influence, we don't know. It's easier for him to take such decision and vote short money. And the people are not happy because the scarce resources at the disposal of the state government is begging for, there are so many projects that the people have that is begging for attention.
Thank you so much, Pastor Martin, for having you. Viewers, please subscribe to this channel, on your notifications, as we keep updating you the latest in Nigeria. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Ngozi Rabuse, with the support of the Samoniba, is pushing for is recognition of Biafra by the world powers or by the leaders of this world through the United Nations or through their own respective executive order, which have gotten close to 70% success. With the Torah is having a free fall, a free will, a free relationship, a free romance, a free endorsement, assets of Biafra in New York, in America, in Washington, in everywhere. To an extent, I can tell you, it was reported there's a forensic process on the Biafran passport already going on in the White House now, and also the embassy, Biafran embassy located in Washington. All these things are being pioneered, and most of the lobbies, Biafran lobbies, are doing well in their respective engagement.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chinedu, for having you this morning. Dr. Rabueze, we have seen severally from Donald Trump to Benjamin Netanyahu to Putin, to just make sure that he secure their friendship so that they can come for rescue Biafra, so that Biafra can exist out of Nigeria.
Yes, what Dr. Ngozi Rabuse, with the support of the Samoniba, is pushing for is recognition of Biafra by the world powers or by the leaders of this world through the United Nations or through their own respective executive order, which have gotten close to 70% success. With the Torah is having a free fall, a free will, a free relationship, a free romance, a free endorsement, assets of Biafra in New York, in America, in Washington, in everywhere. To an extent, I can tell you, it was reported there's a forensic process on the Biafran passport already going on in the White House now, and also the embassy, Biafran embassy located in Washington. All these things are being pioneered, and most of the lobbies, Biafran lobbies, are doing well in their respective engagement with the Donald Trump's government. We can see the response coming from J.D. Vance, the Vice President, to Donald Trump, acknowledging the presence of Biafrans and what the Biafrans are actually, going through. We do not have problem with Israel. I can tell you that, to an extent. I can mention one, Netanyahu's aide, Naftali, currently now on, I think he should be in Germany now, reporting Biafra issue to the Israeli government on daily basis. So I can tell you that they are aware. And often, if you watch much of Benjamin Netanyahu's speech, he also make reference to the issue of the genocide that took place in Biafra land, and the need for the world to look at that direction of recognition. It is something that is going to happen. I don't think that Putin will want to distance himself from that ideology if it happens to be sold to him currently now, because you can see Putin is already advancing his relationship here in Africa. You can see, and Biafra will not be exempted from that relationship. But I can tell you that in all these things, Donald Trump is at the center of all this, and that is why it looks like everybody is hailing, enjoying, celebrating the outstanding success of Dr. Ngozi Rabuse in trying to get these powerful nations to buy into Biafran recognition. We're not talking about Biafran restoration. The world should recognize Biafra as a sovereign.
So Biafra has now been restored. It's just to recognize by the world.
Yes, Biafra has been restored. What we are seeking for is a recognition, of Nigeria of Biafra as a separate, as an entity, as a sovereignty, and that is all. And the Trump government has signaled that he is ready for whatever that's going to come in that direction.
Mr. Kinedu, let me ask you this question. You know the prompt to Nnamdi Kanu lobbies is now a chief of staff to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and information reaching us from her side now that Benjamin Netanyahu have called to Donald Trump and they discuss about this Biafra freedom. That's as we are saying now.
Yes, if the vice president of to Donald Trump can make that a public statement, then I can tell you that it has gotten to the understanding and of this world leader to an extent. I think to an extent, Benjamin Netanyahu is a man of freedom. He's a man who believes in humanity. He's a man who believes in civility. He's a man who believes, that Christians are going through a lot as a result of their relationship and their understanding of Christianity. And Christianity, you cannot talk about Christianity in the world without mentioning Israel. It cannot work, Israel is the birthplace of the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords himself, the man that saved this world, And the Biafras have come to align. So you can see that's why at every point in time, when it matters most, and when they have gotten a deep report on happenings within Nigeria that are affecting Biafrans, especially the issue of Islamization, the issue of killings of Biafrans, the issue of shutting down Biafran businesses in the north, and then about the issue of not allowing a Biafran to be president in Nigeria. They discuss it with Donald Trump, and they are marching toward the second phase of Biafran implementation globally. I can tell you that both Benjamin Netanyahu and Donald Trump are already on phase two implementation of the Biafran plan in the global world. The only problem is that Macron wanted to turn down or beat down or even demarcate Biafra in the Oval Office because he seemed to have a close relationship with Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He carried out the message of Bola Ahmed Tinubu to the to Oval Office in Washington, in Washington. And unfortunately, Tinubu was disappointed the way and manner Donald Trump and his mind turned Macron down on the issue of Biafran recognition. So it tells you that the government of that country is out to do the needful. I remember it was the government of America too that masterminded under Obama and Biden the kidnapping of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. So they know what transpired and they know that it is time for them to recognize the first Jewish black nation in Africa.
Mr. Chinedu, many Biafra that will be listening to you will be very happy to hear this news from you because they felt that Nigeria government are rejoicing that they have succeeded over Biafra by make sure the KGM, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, Samuel Ekpa, on the other hand in Finland, cannot speak. They said that Dr. Rabweze is just a woman, he cannot do anything. But with this information you are dishing out, Biafran that will be listening to you now will be very happy and will be very excited that the freedom they have been waiting for will soon come. Don't forget, viewers, the reason why we are bringing Putin in is because you'll be imagine what concern Putin with Biafra. Don't forget that Putin and Donald Trump have relationship, and you can see what Donald Trump is doing to Ukraine president just because of Putin. That's to tell you that whatever Donald Trump wants, Putin also wants it. So many people who are disregarding the information that Biafra is exaggerating not to concern Putin. That's why I'm asking you a question.
No. I can tell you that it's all about relationship. It's all about marketing. You can't tell me that Vladimir Putin, all this while he has been there as the president of Russia, he has not had anything about Biafra. That would be wrong if anybody tells you that. You don't know anything about Nnamdi Kanu. You don't have briefs, even if for one day, of what is happening in Nigeria and the political prisoners and the rest of the things that are happening, the Bokoharam issue and all. They don't know. You want to tell me that Putin is not aware? You have not seen it in the news. You have not watched it in the CNN on a man called Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. That is not absolutely not correct. And I can tell you in honest truth, yes, they have relationship, deep relationship, and to an extent that Putin said it very clear that if Trump had been president of America at that time, there wouldn't have been need for war, and the issue of NATO would have been resolved. But I can tell you that the same Trump to have what it takes to call Putin's attention, Vladimir attention to the issue of Biafra. I remember too, Vladimir Putin was an orphan, trained and bred up by a Russian Jew. So Putin grew up in a Russian Jewish environment, trained by a Jewish man. And that is why the only thing Putin does every now and then is during Russia military remembrance day. The only person that's allowed to step into Russia till tomorrow, till next tomorrow, till the kingdom come, is the Israeli prime minister in honor that it was a Jewish man, a Russian Jew, that trained him.